Long family. Glory be to God and blessed good I am. It's strange and quite peculiar how some politicians make cliche-ish statements. It almost sounds like a slogan. It almost sounds like a repetitive slogan. They all get on the same page and start to saying the exact same things. I guess that's what organized parties do. They stay on code. No, no matter how each individual feels, they have given up their sovereignty and support of a party. Find it remarkable. Remarkable. You know, we come up with words. We'll make normal, everyday, routine words political, like isolationalism, the isolationalist. One politician says this word all the time. He refers to Americans as isolationists, xenophobic. He doesn't use that word. We got to be clear here. But it comes from the same mindset, the same mindset. So if Americans want to take care of America first and then help others, they are termed isolationist. Then we use terms like Israel is our greatest ally in the world. Sir, is your only ally in the world. You have no friends. Depending on which capacity that you speak from or speak as, you have no friends. If you speak as a man, sir, you have no friends. If you speak in terms of family, sir, you have no family. I mean, let's just be clear, because I'm trying to hit this target without actually hitting it. Okay? And we use these terms vaguely. What does our ally mean? What do you mean by an ally? What does that mean? No one ever asked these questions of them. No one ever asked. Not the media, not the media pool that's right there in front of them as they make these pronouncements in front of a microphone and then take questions. It's like they're all on code. Don't say this, don't ask that. No one has to tell them. They just subconsciously know. And you find this acceptable. Acceptable. Do you see any anti-war protests in the streets of America? Hmm. Is anyone marching? Is anyone saying anything? I said, more war, more war. A war brought to you by neocons that's been planning these things for well over 15 years. Easily. Easily. I've been watching this stuff for a very long time. They've been planning these wars. People who are not you, American, have been planning these wars to use your sons and daughters to do the bidding of another country and its nationals here in America. That's point blank. That's point blank. Now, they seem to have juxtaposed their allies with American allies. Their allies are their allies. The majority of Americans are not their allies. And I don't know how we openly say that we don't care what the American people think. I'm going to be this country's ally until I die. And these are his words, until I die. Sir, don't say things like that. Have you noticed what's going on the world stage, sir? Have you noticed? Please don't say things like that. It's like an invitation. It's like, I mean, really? Until you die? You're openly saying that no matter what they do, you're going to be their ally and their friend until you die, from the capacity of a politician that can vote on funding to give them someone else's money. Sir, you're out of line. You are completely out of line. And I don't want to asperse your sensibilities. I don't, because it's none of my concern. We're way past these things now. Calls are being made. Decisions are being made. People are dying. And you're sitting here saying, goodness gracious, bless your heart, that you're willing to die for a friendship. Sir, let's clear the table. Let's shove everything off the table and stack it back on the table so we can all see it for what it is. Sir, the nation state that you openly willing to die for worships a deity other than Jesus Christ or the Creator. Bullet point 1. Now go back to what you said. I'm willing to die for it. Bullet point 2. These people have killed thousands of innocent people. Thousands intentionally. That would be bullet point 2. Now go back to, I'm willing to die or until I die. Because I want you to understand what you're really supporting and what you're really saying while looking at the moves being made on the world stage. Are you really listening to yourself? Or do you hate yourself? You have to hate yourself. You know what? I'm not going to even go. Well, let's get to bullet point 3. I wasn't going to even do bullet point 3. You are friends until you die with a nation state that the entire world hates. It's set to destroy it. Bullet point 4. This same nation state has said that in times of combat that it initiates if they are pushed in a corner, meaning they finna lose, they will use nuclear weapons, sir. In a war that they themselves started and instigated. And this is what you're willing to die for. I mean, let's make everything clear. Everything clear. And then look at the world stage. Have you been listening to anything? I know you hear every move, every word out of my mouth, and you see the results, and yet you say, until I die. So what do you have to live for? I think your math is wrong. I think you're wrapped up in the suits and the power and the bright lights and the ideology, and you're not thinking about self. You don't mean this. You really don't. You still think this is politics. No, sir, this is a life and death situation with very real repercussions and casualties. Maybe you should stop politicking a minute and think about yourself. Really think about yourself. I mean, a man has to be so empty to be willing to give his life for a cause that's losing. A rising tide is rising against your friend. First at the ankles, and then the shins, and then the kneecaps, and then the calves, and then the waist, and so on and so forth. And you, with just cause, mind you, just biblical cause. And that's another thing. You know, you've passed yourself along for years as Christian, but sir, your actions, which I won't be belying here today, are anything but Christian. The problem is you think no one knows. The problem is you think that no one knows. So you live in this world, in this bubble. The decades-long tenure in the seat has provided you a degree of socio-political cover. And that's fine too. The social structure is what it is until it ain't. You should rethink that. I mean, you know what I think? That you have become the position, is what I think. I think many people do that. You have become the position. And that is strange indeed. There's no self. Everything you say in front of a camera or microphone is just a form of more politicking, pushing an agenda, pushing an ideology. Where is you? Where is you? We also know that the money involved that transacts through lobbying and donors is obscene. Obscene. One would not be out of bounds for saying maybe it's because you get so much money from them. Sometimes money trumps self. I've seen it over and over and over. It always ends bad. They become the money becomes them. They start to believe in the money, and the money starts to control them, and then the rest is just a matter of time. It's just a matter of time. Right now, in the positions that you are creating for yourself. Bullet point 5. A country has been set for destruction, sir, along with others, with just cause. You say that you are Christian, although one's behavior that would make that questionable. That would make that questionable. But depends on one's sect or the belief or the denomination of Christianity. These days, everything is acceptable. You may believe that Jesus just loved everybody. And if that be the case, well, he loved people who your friends are bombing too. If he loves you, then he has to love them. Must he choose? Or will you choose for him? So, I mean, I'm trying to understand the sociological position or the psychological position. I know it's one steeped again in the social structure, as in I'm white, I'm male, and I'm over 50, and I'm in power. And all that means. But that's neither here or there. Was here or there is that you're truly wrapped up in it. It's like your whole life is one long political line. Where are you? We do know you have no family. We do know that you've been there decades. We do know that you really can't point to anything that you have done that have moved Paul was the average American. So you see the cards, you see what's going on, and the strategy. Man, listen here. You know what? It's like I'm talking to the. And I am talking to the entire world, but I'm trying to talk to you. But do you know who I am? Do you respect who I am? Is it in your advantage that you respect who I am, or ignore you, or act like it's not there? You are at war, and you personally are also at war. You just don't see it. You just don't see it. I would never tie my fate. I would never tie my fate to another man's future behaviors, not the ones that he's already done, but may do later. And I can't control him. I can't talk him out of it. He's going to do it anyway and make me get involved in fight, even though I don't want to. Sir, you know what? That's boyish. That's boyish. And it's not steeped in anything, but all I can see is politics and money. Politics and money. And so for politics and money and maybe threat, sir, do I have to free you? Because I can easily make it where you don't have to hide from anything anymore. I'm not talking about hurting you physically. No, I can put everything out there that they're holding over your head with photographs and threats and handlers. We can throw all that on the table, and then you no longer have to do it. But it would also destroy your career. You need to think about what you're doing here. You need to think about what you're doing. No, I mean, normally I would be making jokes and stuff, but this is serious. I mean, every man is responsible for his own choices. I believe your life has become politics, and politics has become you, and the position has become you. In the midst of all this, you've lost yourself. You don't love yourself. You refuse to see the obvious or even hear the obvious. Bullet point 6, hearing of the obvious. It's right before your face. I know you hear me, and you're still saying what you're saying, knowing or ignoring your own vulnerabilities. You need to think about yourself. Think about what you're saying. You can feel these things. You can even say them in close quarters with your friends and pals and people who understand and support and love you. But you should not say it openly in front of microphones in the type of environment that exists now. May I remind you, whether you believe it or not, you're living in a revelation with shot callers and instantaneous actions. No matter where you are, no matter where you are, okay? This is not a threat. I mean, at all. It's not even a warning. It's the reality. It's the reality. And I don't want to believe a damn 60 plus, 70 plus year old white male, steeped in power, steeped in money, and a social structure, and a litany of benefits and benefits and privileges of all levels have went out of his mind. Out of his mind, sir. And we don't want to move. We really don't want to move. I mean, actually, I've avoided you for 5, 6 months, I've taken pop shots at you in an effort to let you know, and I know you get them. I know all your friends and people around you do. They know exactly who I'm talking about, even if the public doesn't. On the spiritual side, I want to believe that you, as the man, can't hear me, and you're just an avatar to be used by any spirit that wants to move your lips up and down. This would, I mean, spiritually, that's what I would think. And that would make you, in its own way, if there's still a you, blameless, but it won't matter because that avatar sits in a position that can get people killed, keeps running his mouth and giving them money and support in the face of the death and the destruction, even if they've been judged wrong by the entirety of the world and God. Look at the position you're in. Has a God showed up to save them, sir? Has a God showed up to, I mean, has a God showed up to save them? While we're on that, you know who they are and you know who the true people are. You know this. I don't know what's wrong with people. What's wrong with you? I mean, you can be angry about it, but to be angry like a boy, be angry like a boy. Okay, I'm going to still do it. That's what boys do in the face of truth. They get angry as if they're going to somehow prove the truth wrong and it's going to become right or understood or justified. It doesn't. But the difference between you and a boy, sir, is the boy has enough time to mature and grow out of it. You're already over 60, sir. You're already over 60. And again, man, I'm not your father. I'm not your friend. I'm not your pastor. I'm not one over you. I'm not one threatening you. I don't have photographs and pictures and audio. We're not even interested in that kind of stuff. We're interested in terms of life, death, consciousness, and the saving of souls. Okay? That would be the spiritual aspect of it. And you're in the thick of it. You are in the thick of it. You made yourself noticed. And I've avoided you. I've avoided you. Let's hope that you recalibrate. You know, have a drink or whatever your particular vibe is. Chill out and just think a minute. I know you don't mean that. Words like that, you you don't mean that. This is just so much politicking. So we're gonna act like once again we didn't hear you say that. We didn't hear you say it. We didn't hear you say it. We didn't hear you say it, sir, because I want you to not say it again. At least so that we can hear it. Because it sounds like you're calling for more death. And you don't care who they kill, who they bomb, you know your friends are wanted by the Hague, right? They've been fired. I mean, I don't understand. You're saying that you're going to remain friends with war criminals wanted by the Hague for crimes against humanity. And here you is as an accessory to the crime, as an accessory. There you are in full bloom, publicly saying, I am the accessory to both genocide and ethnic cleansing, the starting of wars, unprovoked, blowing up the cell phones, publicly raping. I mean, man, the list is long and litigious. You shouldn't want to be nowhere near that when judgment is being executed. You can't be thinking about you. But perhaps you really mean that you're willing to die. Oh, goodness gracious, a man says this kind of stuff out loud until you die? How much time? Do you have a calendarized date? Maybe an expiration date that you know of that maybe we don't? I mean, but because that is a bold ass statement, but it comes without qualification. No times, no dates, no real definition of what you're actually saying. So we won't take that at face value. We think that you're just jaw-jacking. But in the face of the world and in the face of God and in the face of the voice you hear, understand. Please understand. You should not do that. This isn't, please don't take it as a threat or warning. Take this as someone giving you knowledge of how we think. And we're not even your enemy. Shit, we ain't they friends either. Not like you think. Not by no means. In fact, sir, we are no one's friends. But by proxy, we are no one's enemy. We simply do what is already written, what is already prescribed. You, on the other hand, have a clear set of principles, rules, political boundaries that protect you. You're in man's world. This is not like it used to be. So I would say once again, think about what you're saying. Think about what you are saying. I'm Source. I'm 7. I'm 1.